Hi everybody, welcome to this week's live stream. We have Don here. I thought he needed no introduction, so here he is, ready to
Hi,
talk
everybody.
to everybody. Hi.
Sorry, I'm disheveled. I'm home and I'm rushing all over the place. So you take me as I am.
We feel very lucky to have caught you while you're on land. How long have you been back since your last cruise? Less than a week, right?
Oh yeah, I flew back. I got back close to midnight on Sunday.
Yeah, and then you're off again.
Next Saturday. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fun?
I try and keep up with what you're doing, Don, but you are all over everywhere.
I'm trying.
Can you just give us what have you been doing for these last couple of months? Where have you been?
Okay. It all started off with the Celebrity Edge. I was on that with my friend Alicia and Tony. Mm-hmm. Met Captain Kate.
Yes.
Struck up a good friendship with Captain Kate.
Amazing.
Then Tony and I did Majestic Princess Alaska. I did 2 weeks. He did 1.
That looks so good.
Then I did Emerald Princess Panama Canal. Celebrity Apex 2-day inaugural sailing.
Yeah.
5-day on the Odyssey of the Seas. Then a 2-day inaugural sailing on the Odyssey of the Seas.
Yeah.
Flew home for 12 days. Then I'm going on a princess cruise, the Allure of the Seas, and finishing off with a luxury cruise on the Celebrity Summit. And I mean luxury. I'm going all out for that one for Christmas. Now, I hope my friend is not watching this video because she doesn't know I booked good cabins for that. Like, this is my friend I've known for a long, long time. And she was on the Edge with me. Her name is Alicia. She's a very close friend of mine. And I booked 2 Sky Suites on the Celebrity Edge, and I didn't tell her.
Oof.
Well, I said, how can I upgrade for this time?
Yeah.
Well, I found such a good deal on the Celebrity Summit that I booked 2 Royal Suites for us on that one. And I have never stayed in a Royal Suite or anything like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. So
that's going to be...
I hope she's surprised. I'm sure she will, but...
You hope. I don't know anyone who would not be surprised and amazed by that. That sounds absolutely awesome. Gosh, yeah. How was the Panama Canal? That's always one that I always list off as being a bucket list for me.
I love the Panama Canal, although it's the new locks. And I prefer the old locks when you can see the locomotives pulling you along. And that's why when I booked my group next year, I made sure it was doing the old locks because it's more of a scenic trip. But it was fun. For me, that was the relaxing cruise after all the hectic stuff that was going on. And it literally was 700 people, 1,200 crew members.
Yeah.
I went to trivia one day. There were 3 of us in
really?
trivia. So, like, not much to do. 15 days, we saw 6 comedians, 1 ventriloquist, and 1 magician. So basically 9 comedians. In 15 days.
That's crazy.
It wasn't really set up for us. It was more of a getting ready to head to Florida and start their cruises there.
Sometimes that's nice, though. I imagine
it was
that
so
was
relaxing.
Good. Yeah.
I woke up at 10:30 one day and I went, great. I didn't have to do anything. You know, it was beautiful. Sit on my balcony all day. It was wonderful. It really was.
It sounds amazing. I'd have some chance at trivia if there are only 3 people there. Maybe I'd still come third. But yeah, I mean, my last cruise was 3,500 people, so it's a bit different from such a
the inaugural sailings had a lot of people on them because it was all VIPs and things like that I read. But it's so fun. I got to meet so many crew members.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say some names in case you're watching. Apple on the Odyssey, on the Apex, Anna, like really nice ladies. One was working in the kids club, one was working in the spa, and they got to show me around. They were all happy to show me around the areas and everything. And I just felt so honored that they were just giddy going around. And it was like amazing to me. It's beautiful. So many great people on the ships. I'm so glad they're all back.
Yeah, that sounds so good. Sounds lovely. Speaking of lovely people, we have lots and lots of lovely people in the comments, including my dad and my mum who are in here. Hello, Mum and Dad, who says, I think this might be a fantastic chat, says my dad.
Fantastic.
I think it might be too, Dad. if you do have a question for us, can you please start your question with the word question in capital letters? There's a lot of comments and it makes it so much easier for me to see what is a question, what is just people chatting. And thank you so much to all of our moderators who are looking after the chat,
Yes,
you guys.
moderators are key.
Yes,
key on live
absolutely.
streams.
So thank you for my super chat, Richard. Hello, Richard.
Hi.
He was on Mariner of
First
the
Sergeant.
Sea.
I recognize him from Tony's channel.
Yes, he's all over the place, Richard. On Mariner of the Seas, next to Odyssey, a few days back. Don, sorry I missed you. Yes,
But
you've been
he's on the Majestic though with me next year. So
you've been doing like a bit of a tag team with Tony, and you guys have been all over together and following each other around.
Well, we did the Majestic together.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on my last cruise for December, but they just canceled because they were worried about the testing going from one ship to another.
Okay.
If they could do it on time.
Yeah.
So we canceled. I was supposed to be on with him there. And then I was on the Odyssey of the Seas, and he was getting on 2 days after I got off.
Yeah.
And he kept on saying, stay, stay. And I came this close to staying because had it not been for needing to get back because I had to catch up on so much stuff, I would have loved to have stayed, but I would have been gone for 60 days. Yeah. And I think people around here helping me out with like my travel agency and that would have just been pulling their hair out. And that if I'd have gone for 60 days.
I think that's fair enough. Yes. Speaking of Tony.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy.
There he is. Hi, Tony.
What's today? Friday. He gets off tomorrow. He gets off the ship tomorrow. How's the Odyssey of the Seas? See, it's a little different for Tony and I. We were on the Spectrum of the Seas in Japan before the pandemic. And 2 of the shows, I think, are the exact same shows that were on the Spectrum of the Seas.
Oh,
there.
I see.
The Showgirls and Effectors. But the 270 show was different.
Very nice.
But they're still really good to see. They are amazing shows.
Yeah, it sounds good. Thank you, Jim, for our super chat. He has, I have convinced him due to budget Mediterranean cruise. He wants to do a budget Mediterranean cruise, but by the time he puts flights on, the budget isn't. I see. I don't know if that's a question I'm supposed to answer, Jim, but thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. Many questions in here. Where do we begin? Let's go with one from Greg. He says, do you cruise out of the US or just Europe? I'm guessing that's for me, especially now the border has reopened to UK citizens. I have mostly cruised, since the pandemic, I've only cruised this side. I've cruised many times from the US. I've cruised out of New York. I've cruised out of Miami. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Alaska. I've done quite a lot of US cruising. But yes, the borders are open right now. That does not mean it's easy, though. There's a lot. The cruise lines are constantly changing their testing requirements. I know the cruise boys who are in here who are trying to do a MSC. It's tricky. It's tricky at the moment. So I don't have any plans.
MSC really messed with Canadians for a while.
Oh, did they?
Well, they opened up in the United States.
Yeah.
And so people were able to book from Canada, and then they got to the cruise port and they said, "Oh no, it's only for American clients." Well, why did you let us book then?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. Goodness. Well, I did. You know.
Oh God.
And I even went in and I tested it myself, and I was able to get a booking. Because even the agents didn't know that was happening. They figured North America, right?
Yeah,
Canada, US. Yeah. But you can now, but you couldn't for the while. And a lot of people got caught off guard.
Yeah, if they'd taken my money, I would have assumed that it would be fine. Because they ask you for...
Because you fill in all your information. It says you're coming from Canada. Your flights are from Canada. Your credit card's Canadian.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah.
Oh, not good. We have a question from Kim, and she says, are both of you cruise agents? You are.
I am. You are not, but you work with one. You work with Emma.
I am. So I'm not, but I work with an agent called Emma. Just to keep it Team Emma, we work together and we book cruises. After I booked, I think 4 or 5 cruises through her, she was the only person I recommended, so I thought she could help me out. And it has been brilliant for the last year or so. So yes, let's go with yes. Super chat from John, watching in a donut shop.
Nice. Which donut shop?
Yeah, that sounds
Is
amazing.
it Tim Hortons? Is it Dunkin' Donuts? Is it
Who
Dinky
knows?
Donuts? What is
A
it?
whole world of donut shops. We have a question from Victoria, and it says, "What is Don's favorite cruise to date? All the cruises, Don.
Ooh.
Favorite cruise to date."
I've been on a lot, but my most recent favorite cruise would still have to be Japan. And surprisingly, it's not the one I was on with Tony, but the one that I took from Canada to get to Japan.
Okay.
So I went on the Celebrity Millennium, and we left from Vancouver, 15 days, and ended up in Japan, and we had 4 stops in Japan. It was just better because we were in port longer than we were on Tony and I's cruise. But it was a great cruise. I love Japan. I go back again in a second.
Yeah.
As a recommendation now for people, if you're going to Japan or China, plan to spend 4 or 5 days either pre-cruise or post-cruise, because you're going to see some things that you just want to go back to. You really do.
Agreed. And also, I mean, if you're going that far, at least for me, it took us quite a long time to get over to Japan. You might as well stay there for a bit. But yeah, same for me. When people ask me, it's always the cruise I took. Singapore to Tokyo, hands down favorite cruise. Even if you're just buying a drink from a vending machine, you're just going to the toilet.
It's different. Yeah,
it's an
completely unique experience.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
One of the funniest things, I even had to message Tony because he was meeting me in China. So I took my cruise to Japan, flew to China, and then I get off the plane. Of course, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. And I said, well, it's going to be no problem. I'm going to Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland. No problem. Go to the taxi driver. Where do you want to go? Shanghai Disneyland. No idea what I was talking about. I'm at the Shanghai airport. They have no idea where Disneyland is. We were there for 40 minutes with like 9 people around trying to figure out where it was. I finally got a connection to an international telephone service where I could bring up the actual address, because they had no idea where it was. And I said, that's so unique. That like you go to California, go to Anaheim and say, take me to Disneyland. The taxi driver is off, right?
Yeah,
no
of course.
No clue what I was talking about.
How strange. You would have thought you would be.
That I've been stumped. That was the first time I've ever been really stumped.
That's really odd. That's really strange. Oh, well, at least, I mean, I'm assuming you made it in the end.
I did make it. It was wonderful there. It was beautiful there. Tony and I became attractions. People actually came up and wanted to take pictures with us because they had never seen somebody from Canada or United States before. So we were the tourist attraction when we were walking around the hotel and that. It was pretty funny.
Blimey, that sounds cool. We have a question from Sean. He says, Don, what cruise line is your highest loyalty program?
I'm highest with Princess, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian. So and Celebrity. I'm now Celebrity Elite as well.
Nice. That's very
After
impressive.
what am I at now? 110 cruises now. So you get up there pretty quick because I go all over to
that sounds amazing.
Right? So.
I've only got 2. I've got 2, but one of them was the MSC status match, so it feels like a bit of a cheat.
I guess I'm elite with them too.
There you go. Claim that. You deserve that. Take it. It's Norwegian for me because I cruised with them when I was 11, when I was 13, and it still counts even if you're a child. So I've been racking up those points most of my.
Now the first one I ever got to elite with was with Princess Cruise Lines. So.
Okay, we have a super chat. Thank you very much to Let's Go Travel Tips. You have made a huge difference to us. Thank you very much. Will you give our channel a shout out? Well, here you go. You're shouted out.
Let's go Travel Tips. I've seen a couple videos from them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
I search the internet all the time for.
Yeah, me too. It's always quite. I'm always watching random, cabin tours and stuff from the other side, researching my own cruises, and I always try and leave comments and things, and it's nice when other people pop up and they're like, "Hi, Emma, you're here." Of course I am. I'm also
I have. Everybody has their own unique style, right? Of how they like to do things, and that I like to cover news stories and be quick, and I have a warped sense of humor.
Yeah.
Some other people like to do really good in-depth ship tours, like Hard Travel does some of the best ship tours out there. If I want a ship, I look for Har. I look for Danny. So yeah, and if I'm looking for European information, I'm looking up at your channel all the time because I'm not an expert with P&O or
anything Canada.
Anything up this direction.
You or Alana. That's where I'm going. Not a clue. Thank you very much for my super chat. Listening from Arizona. Is that the answer to that one? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm trying to get better at. I've got like a little app on my phone so I can learn geography. I know quite a lot of the world geography, but as far as within the UK, I have no idea. Well, and I'm trying to learn what all of the states.
There's two things I'm horrible with: spelling. Yeah. I'm a horrible speller, and geography. Like people said, "Oh, where is this place?" And I go, I don't know. I've probably been there, but I don't know on the map. I can't point out nothing. And I have a map right there. Yeah, well, I got to update. I have one of those scratch maps.
Yeah.
That I started with the channel, and then we went on the pandemic, and so it hasn't been scratched. But I can scratch the Panama Canal because it's only since I've been on the channel.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't do every place I've been because I would have just scratched every place but 2 places. So,
that's cool.
But I could do Panama now, and I can do a couple other places. So.
Yeah, I'm fine with places I've been to that are on the sea. But if you ask me where different counties are in the UK or where these different places are in Australia, I want to know, but I'm not very good at it. So I'm making an effort to learn where the different states are, what the different things mean, and I'm getting there. I am making a conscious effort.
That's one of the reasons I like to drive when we haven't been able to cross the borders here, but when I was going to Vancouver, I would drive to Vancouver 5 days because I like to travel across the country and see the different provinces and things like that. I love doing the States the same way, but I want to take a train from New York. I guess it's going to end up being Chicago, but New York to like LA, someplace like that, or Seattle, and cross the United States, right? By train. I think that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I don't even know how far I will be able to go if I drove for 5 days. Like I could end up anywhere.
Yeah, I have a pretty good sense of direction. I don't ever look at it. No,
I do not. I have no sense of direction. You spin me around twice, and then even today I went out with a friend and I nearly got lost just going to the toilets because I don't know which way I came from. I have nothing at all.
I have a built-in radar that way. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. An old story. I was 7 years old driving to the Nova Scotia with my parents. We come up to this road and my dad says, I don't know whether to turn left or right. And we turned right and we got lost.
Okay.
4 years later, we get back. We're driving the same road. We end up at that spot. My dad says, I don't know which way to go. He starts turning right. I said, no, it's left.
Oh, gosh.
That's how my sense of direction is.
Yeah.
Because my dad used to have a real good temper. And so when we get lost, I would know about it. So I remembered everything and learned how to read maps and all that stuff. Just so keep my dad calm on vacation.
Well, you do what you got to do. But in my family, it's my brother who would know where everything is, who remembers everything. I took my last cruise, just me and my brother. And I think towards the end of the cruise, I started to annoy him because I would say, oh, what way is it? Is it up? Is it down? I don't know where and he thought I must be joking by day 7 that I don't know where things are, but I just don't know where they are. I've tried to learn. I look at deck plans, I'm in this space quite a lot. It's just I don't know which way's forward at any point. I have no idea unless I can see the sea. It is what it is.
It is.
Thank you, Kathy, for my super chat. Oh, and we have Francisco in here. Thank you, Francisco, for my super chat. Hello, Emma and Don. Last time I said hi to Don, I was tearing out the master bathroom. Interesting. That's what Francisco remembers.
I hope you're done tearing out the master bath. You're going to have it back together again.
Well, that's the good thing about live streams. I like to all of these live streams are available on YouTube for as long as YouTube exists. And I like to I don't really like to be by myself all the time. I just have background noise of people chatting and stuff. So whenever I see, there's normally some cruise related person live most days, I normally just try and put it on and hop in and see everybody and see where they are. Oh my goodness. The questions are going so...
1 million miles an hour?
1 million miles an hour. Thank you so much, everybody. Good question from Tim, he says, Don seems to like Disney cruising and Emma not so much. Good start. Can you discuss your opinions on the tipping situation on Disney? Yeah.
You first. Miss, I don't like Disney.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then fine. This will be a good conversation. But so I took a Disney cruise. I prepaid my gratuities because I want them to be just taken care of and done. That's why I prepay them. And then I was surprised to see that in your cabin, you get pieces of paper that basically, it's like a voucher that says, I have paid a gratuity. And you're supposed to take it to your people in the restaurant and give it to them. And for me, the whole reason I do auto gratuities is because I find that so awkward. I don't want to do that. In the UK, we don't tip in the same way as the US. I know a lot of Americans who really enjoy that, saying thank you with a thing. For me, I don't like it at all. And I thought it was strange. So I just, it was one of those videos, you're probably the same. You put so much effort into some videos, they don't get many views. And then you put something out just because you're just asking a question. Yeah. That one's had about 200,000 views, just me saying, I was asking, is this weird or not? And everyone says yes or no. But yeah.
Those are some good videos for your channel, though, sometimes, because they just blow up for some reason, right? Yeah.
It's bizarre, isn't it? I just genuinely wanted to know, because I've never seen that on any other cruise line. And I thought the point of auto gratuities was so that I didn't have to deal with gratuities. I don't mind either way. Just tell me, is it a cash thing? Is it an auto gratuity thing? And then fine. I don't mind. Just want to know.
It also varies by cruise line, right? Like if you order room service on Princess, they come to your room, they don't give you a bill, they just thank you and take off. So there's no real interaction. Royal Caribbean, they have a signing thing and you can fill in a tip because it's right there on your thing you're signing. So it's a little bit of pressure for you there to do it. And I generally tip, right now, I've been generally tipping very, very well. Just because I'm glad they're back and I know they've been off work so long and, you know, I'm probably paying double what I normally would pay when things are going normal. Just because,
they deserve it. Yeah,
they deserve it. Yeah, and especially because I don't know about you, but the service just seems to be so good right now on the cruise ships. Right, just so good, amazing, quick, just jumping, smiles everywhere. It's amazing. And but as far as tipping, I do my gratuities ahead of time all the time. I don't care if they give me an envelope. I don't care if they give me other stuff. That's my decision whether I'm going to do it. If I'm going to tip somebody, I will. If I'm going to tip somebody, my stateroom attendant, I leave it in the room under their card. Because you always have a card in your room with their name on it. I'm Francisco Rodriguez, and here, thank you very much.
Very helpful.
Leave your tip there when you leave your stateroom. That's what I do. But I'm not a person to go and I feel that would be awkward for the other person as well, right? So I'm even awkward when I go on a shore excursion and then you're on a boat and you're on your way back and there's the ship ahead of you and they stop. And then they go into that spiel about, this is part of our thing. I hope you enjoyed it. They're looking for money. They're looking for a tip, right? But that takes away from the experience for me. Had you just dropped me off at port, I would probably give you the tip faster than that spiel that you're giving us. So.
Yeah. I had so many comments on that video that said, oh, well, you don't have to do it. It's just a suggestion of extra stuff. But the way it was worded made it sound like if I didn't give them this, they would think that I hadn't tipped them and that they weren't worth it. And they were absolutely worth it. I was only doing a 3-night cruise. To be honest, I think I'm probably I never ask for any amendments or any questions or anything. I'm probably the easiest person to have in the restaurant, or try to be. But I just worried that they would, because we were supposed to take them on the last dinner and then see them again for breakfast the next day. And I didn't want them to think that just because
that's a guilt trip. Well, anybody out there, if you really want to do something worthwhile for anybody particular on the cruise, when you get that comment at the end of your cruise, the email asking, put their name in there. Because that means if they get 2 or 3 from a cruise, that jumps them up the list so fast that they can get promoted, extra hours, extra service. That does more than leaving an extra $20 tip or anything like that. It really does.
Yeah, for me, I'm always kind of making notes. If I there's a particular waiter who always serves me in the lounge who's great, and I'm trying to look at their name tag and write it down on my phone so that I remember who's who.
Unfortunately, as you're going to go on cruises more, you're going to be recognized more.
Yeah, I know.
And so now you feel, well, I met so many people, but I can't mention everybody. I kept track on my last 30 days of cruises, and I had 274 crew members come up to me during those cruises.
Really?
I can't list 274 crew members on those cards.
Wow.
But it's unbelievably, it's so flattering and it's amazing. But because they all found us during the pandemic when they were looking, when can they go back to work? When are they going to be called back to the ship? And that's what we were trying to cover for them. And they said we kept them up to date to give them an idea when they're going to get back to a job or not. So
yeah,
it really is flattering. But they were amazing.
I'm sure they were just so excited to meet you. Probably starstruck. Oh, it's really nice.
It's weird. It is weird. It is.
It's nice though. It's good.
It is. One of my biggest flattered compliment was when I was on the edge. Tony and I were on the edge, and Captain Kate was doing this jewelry presentation where they had made jewelry specific for her on the edge. Oh. Okay. So she was showing off the jewelry, and then there was going to be a photo op afterwards that everyone could go to. So I'm in line for the photo op, and she looks over at Tony and I hear her go, yeah, they're both here. They're both here. And then she looks at me and she goes, hey, Don, are you having a fantastic day? And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding? Like my
she's
heart
really
stopped,
famous.
Right? My heart stopped a little bit because I've been following her for years.
Yeah.
Ever since she's been on The Edge and was nominated for it. So
yeah. No offense to us, but she is like proper famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I even knew a lot of the cat trivia on the ship. That's how much I've been following her.
I've seen Bug in his little life jacket and everything.
Yeah, and his stroller.
Cool. Yeah, he's a very, very well behaved cat. I can't.
He is, yeah.
I wouldn't want or try to take Hudson on the cruise. I think he'd be straight. He would just run straight off the ship, and I'd never see him again. And
you never find him again. No.
No. We have a question about packing. Have we streamlined our packing strategies? Less is more, or more is more?
I'm really good at packing to leave. Horrible packing to come back. Because I keep forgetting I buy stuff.
Oh, okay,
so, my niece will say, hey, buy me one of the princess bears. She likes to collect those bears. So I buy a bear. And I like to collect the ship models that are behind me. And so if I'm on 2 or 3 ships now, I have 3 of those in those boxes that are like this big.
Yeah.
And so big. I like to travel with 1 suitcase. And I think I'm going to learn my lesson and start traveling with 2 suitcases. But I always did 1 because the airlines always charge you for the bags.
Yeah.
But right now during the pandemic, I don't want to be like this in coach with 4 people beside me and I'm in the middle seat. So I've been using my points that I've accumulated over the years and doing business class, which is single seats.
Yeah, nice.
Which is really nice. And I look for the deal before I do it. But for only a couple $100 more, I'm getting a single seat and a meal and drinks and nobody beside me. So I've been doing that. And so I get 2 bags included. But I've still been sailing with 1 bag because it's a habit.
Oh, no.
So I got to learn. I got to learn because I'm squeezing my suits into it, and I'm no, it's not a good idea. I'm not a packer. I'm a guy. I don't know if you've ever seen I used to watch Sherry, right? She has a lot of packing videos.
Yeah.
And so I decided I'm going to spoof that a little bit, and I'm going to do a Dawn packing video. And basically, it was the suitcase open, and then I just had all my clothes in my hand, and I said, done. And that's basically me in packing.
Yeah, mine too. I think I keep things pretty simple, especially if you're cruising somewhere warm. I think it's so easy.
Oh yeah, t-shirts and one dress stuff. Way I go.
If you hear a noise, this is Hudson's dinner. Because our clocks have changed. His dinner time is now within this live stream, and I forgot to change the time. But that does mean that Hudson may appear, so you might get to see him. But yes, for me, I mean, less is more. I will travel as light as I can. I still bring things back because recently I've been cruising from a home port a lot around the UK. So I've been taking bigger and bigger suitcases, and I just carry things around and then bring them back again. So I'm quite happy with a small suitcase for a week. No problem with that. I normally am okay, if I'm buying a ship model, but I don't think I've ever bought more than 1, and I'll put it in the middle and try and wrap things around it. But
I
Coming
also
back,
have all
it's
my
just
camera gear with me,
that's
especially if I'm going on a long trip.
yeah, nice handbag.
I have my backpack weighed at the airport because they were unsure of the
Okay.
size.
Yeah.
It weighed 67 pounds. That's my backpack. So I'm
Okay.
carrying that around with me everywhere I go, even on like boarding day and all that.
You look like a little
So,
trolley. Look at one of those
it's super
the
heavy.
little shopping things that
My back is killing me by the end of embarkation day.
my goodness. What
I have like
what is in that
7
bag?
lenses, 9 cameras, microphones, lighting kits, 3D
Oh my
cameras,
goodness.
GoPros, you name it, it all adds up. And my computer. I have a
Wow.
huge 17-inch computer, and
Yeah.
it all adds up. It adds
Wow. I do not do that, so that probably helps me. But yeah, no, less is more for me. I have the same, essentials packing list that I use for everything with travel adapters, seasickness pills, like laundry, detergent, wash stuff. And apart from that, it's just, am I going to need warm weather clothes or cold weather clothes? Coat in there, sunglasses.
I get such a
Apart from
kick out of that. You go, well, I got my laundry stuff I can do, but I'm so lazy. No, here, take it. Go do it for me.
No,
Somebody take this
no.
and go do it for me.
It's like if you want to have one t-shirt washed, it's like £3. I'm not paying
Yeah.
£3 for someone to wash my
Unless you're
t-shirt.
elite.
Yeah, but
Once you
I'm
hit
not.
elite with some people, then you can get that free laundry,
That
which
is
is
true.
really nice. That's my
Yeah.
favorite out of all the things.
I do get a free bag on Norwegian, and I mean, if I don't need anything washed, you're just going to wash it for me, so I don't have to do it at home because I'm taking advantage of that free bag. Yeah. And the free bag is like it's made of paper, and you could easily rip it. But I perfected the kind of like a Tetris with all of my t-shirts and things to get as many things in there as I could. And I definitely did good. Tim says, "Don't forget your wake up light." Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I bring a little sunlight lamp on all of my cruises when I'm inside cabins, which is very helpful. Thank you, everybody who is just leaving us nice comments saying that they love us and they love Tony. That's really appreciated.
Yep. Tony's like Tony said, he's my people. I'm his people. We get along really good. Yeah, we're buddies.
We are. I was going to say we are people, but yes,
we are people.
We are the people.
We're people.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could do a 3-way chat? Yes, that would be quite cool. I assume that is possible in here. The tricky thing is finding any time when we're all at home at the same time.
Yeah, like Tony and I have been talking like almost 3 months now about starting our weekly podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
And we just haven't been home in time to do it.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
That would be cool. But all 3 of us like to talk quite a lot. So I don't know if we'd all be like talking about. Yes. Well, we have a question. You're going to have to answer this one because it is about Alaska. What do you think is the best cruise line for Alaska?
Well, Princess has won for like up to million years in a row. They have the lodges. They have all the setups. You know what? I still say their ships are designed for viewing a lot more than some of the other lines, because you go on Norwegian, they have, what is it, laser tag, and they have go-karts and all this stuff up there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of deck space, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful ships, fun ships. But if you're just looking to view Alaska and all that, you want big, wide open deck space and lots of balconies. And to me, that was Princess. I do like Holland America, another one, which is nice. And you know what? I'm going to try and do a Royal Caribbean to Alaska one time, just because I want to do surfing in Alaska. I want to go on a surf simulator in Alaska. Because why not?
It sounds ridiculous. But you were on a cruise recently. Yep. You're in the Caribbean, weren't you? I think. And I saw a picture of you covered in snow.
Yeah, in a theater. That was the theater. That was part of the show. In the theater, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Lots of special effects.
Why was it snowing?
That was on the Apex, called Tree of Life. That one was called.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
It shows both the Apex and the Odyssey have beautiful shows. The Odyssey is much like the Sky Princesses shows with the lasers and that they have. So very, very similar.
Sounds very cool. Very cool.
And I just booked a cruise on the Allure in March with my 2 nephews. Now, if anyone doesn't know, my nephews are over 40, so they're not little kids. They're 40, but they're like my brothers. We hang out. My nephew was here today. We went and saw Ghostbusters last night. We hang out together all the time. And so we're going to go on there. And then we're going to be these old guys, overweight, doing surf simulator and skydiving and whatever else there is to do. We're going to do it, and we're going to make complete fools of ourselves, because we will make fun of each other on that like you would not believe, because we become children when we're all together. And I mean children. We behave really poorly a lot of times. So.
I think life is too short not to.
I don't, and you know me, I will make myself look ridiculous sometimes and show everybody, because it's just, that's the way it is. Right?
Yeah,
you know, it's true to life, right?
Why not? What is the worst that can happen?
Exactly. Yeah. Subscribers 0.
Yeah. Oh, that's always a fear. I have a recurring nightmare. I don't know if you ever had this type of nightmare, but it's a nightmare where I'm trying to do a live stream and nothing is working. And for some reason, I have no way to tell everybody. Yeah. And every time I look at the clock, it's like 20 minutes later. And it's awful. I've had it about 3 times now. So my greatest fear is letting the live stream audience down. But why I couldn't just put a message and say I'm having technical difficulties, I don't know. But it's always the computer won't work. There's people around. It's really loud. There's nowhere for me to do stressful.
Oh, yeah. A lot can go wrong with live streams, a lot.
Clearly that's in my subconscious that I could, Well, in reality, I would just drop a message. You and Tony do
live streams a lot. I do them like maybe once a month, and that's when I'm not cruising.
Yeah.
So I got to do some on the cruise ships, but the Wi-Fi I find is just not reliable enough to do it. Sometimes the picture becomes blurry because the bandwidth isn't great. And I don't want to put out that. Tony seems to be able to get it done.
Yeah.
I had bad luck when I tried it. So.
Yeah, I've never done it on ship Wi-Fi, only if I'm kind of in port and I check the 4G phone signal and I keep doing the speed test to check it's kind of over. Actually, on my Princess cruise, I did it and it was amazing. The Wi-Fi was brilliant. But apart from that, I just do it when I'm at home. But I started doing these weekly live streams in March of 2020 when I came home from work, and I was working from home, and I thought, why not? Everyone's at home. Yeah. And then here we are now. I have not stopped, and I really like them. So we're gonna carry on with these live streams. Thank you, Cindy, for my super chat. She has a question. What has been your favorite port excursions? Love the underground Colosseum tour in Rome and whale watching in Alaska. Amazing.
Whale watching. Did you see Tony and I's whale watching experience? Miserable weather, miserable cruise, like rained every day. I was 14 days. It rained almost every single day. But we saw orca, and we had orca all around us on the boat. And I don't like, I could have jumped on its back. It was right there on the ship. And that is rare in Alaska.
Yeah.
You might get a couple pods once in a while. Like, I think it's something like 1 in 30 whale watching cruises will see orcas.
Yeah.
But we got them really close for a long period of time. We had a calf there as well. It was really good. And I thought we were going to see them hunt at one point, because there was all these sea lions jumping in the water, and you could see these 2 orca coming from over here, and they were heading right to where they were splashing. And then next thing you see, they were swimming off in this direction. I guess they weren't hungry. They just left them alone. Gosh. But they were easy pickings. They were nowhere near rocks, nowhere near. Boom. I said, are we going to catch this? And nope, off they went in the other direction. So
wow.
I would have had like a National Geographic film video there. Orcas in the wild hunting would have been kind of neat. I would have felt so bad afterwards, though, because cute little sea lions.
That's what I'd be like. I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. This. Get out of there.
Run. But then also, I mean, two sides to that. One of them needs to eat. So, but I don't know what my favorite port excursion is. I normally only do a couple on every cruise. I'm not a big excursion in every port kind of person, but I've done various ones in, Norway and in the Baltics and Russia and all over kind of places. Yes. Yeah, normally I try and avoid the sit on a bus for 5 hours kind of tours. I'm not really a fan of those ones.
I like snorkeling. So any place I get out into the water, I like to do it. And for me, it's when I'm going with somebody. Mm-hmm. So like when I brought my friend Alicia on the Edge, she's never done any of this stuff. So we got to go here. We did speedboat drive and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Or if I go on a group cruise, often I try and get people out of their comfort zones.
Yeah.
So on my last group cruise, I ended up having like 8 or 9 ladies that travel alone a lot, or with their friend, and I got them going on zip lines and speedboats and all, tubing and all this other stuff, and they had a great time. And
sounds really
I
fun.
like getting people out of their comfort zones a little bit. And I'm terrified of heights, and I go zip lining down mountains. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
So. Wow. I mean, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. We have got JJ Cruz in here, Jared and Jordan. Hello. Thank you for joining us. We totally flubbed and live premiered our Virgin review at the same time. Oh, I forgive you. Flubbed. Is flubbed a word?
It is, yeah.
Is it? I've never said flubbed before, but I quite like that one.
It's a slang, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never totally flubbed. I like that one. I'm going to use that one. I always try and tell people these kind of British phrases in my videos.
Yeah,
it makes me laugh so much when people go off and they use them, or when they use them in my comments. I did one last week, and it was about, if I'm just talking too much, I would say that I'm waffling on.
Yep.
And a lot of the comments said that they use waffle to mean kind of to go between two decisions. Like if they can't pick something between two decisions, they're waffling about it. I don't know. Apparently that's how it is in America. So I'm learning different phrases for different things that I didn't even know existed. Yeah. But that is cool.
I'm famous for that because I make up my own words anyway, and they're not real language, right? Like fantastic. That's my word.
That is your word.
and I've always used it. It's not like it's just something I did for the channel. No. I've always said that.
Oh, I thought it was a thing you developed.
No, fantastic is my word. I invented that. That's a Donism.
Do you know where that came from, or you just?
Well, it's my neighbor when I used to live, when I was in high school. Back in the day when vans were the thing, right? You used to put the bed in the back, and they'd have the bar and the frilly lights and the plush carpeting and all that. Well, he had a van, and it was fantastic written on the side. So I've always said fantastic.
That's amazing. Do you get comments that ask you what that?
All the time. Yeah. Where did I get? Why do I say that? That's not a real word. Yes, I know. Or please stop saying that now. No.
As if you're going to do that.
I mean, Captain Kate said it. I'm not going to change.
It's a catchphrase. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I mean, it probably works well for you if people ask questions. It's engagement on YouTube.
That is the number one comment I get whenever I run into people on the ships. They always turn around and say, "Okay, we'll see you later. Have a fantastic day."
That's so nice. I need a catchphrase myself. I kind of have picked up random things by accident. Like I always get questions about my favorite potatoes of the week, because I mentioned about potatoes in a comment one time. I get every time I go on a cruise, I'm asked how the cookies are now, because people saw me eating chocolate chip cookies. I have eaten a lot of cruise chocolate chip cookies, but now there's a scale. When I find a new one, people want to know how it compares to the other ones.
Yeah, rate the cookie chip.
Yeah, various things like this. I caused a bit of controversy because I said my whole life Princess had the best cookies, and then I think Celebrity beat Princess actually.
They're very close. You know what? They're very similar cruise lines. They really are.
They are, yeah.
What I like about Celebrity is every ship is slightly unique. Even the Edge class, when you get on it, the apex is different than inside a little bit than the Edge.
Yeah.
This room will look different than this room, but it's the same design, just a different interpretation. Princess, however, is very familiar. Once you're on a Royal class ship, you know your way around a Royal class ship. They're all the same. Might have a blue accent instead of gold for the lighting, but it's the same design. So, hey, where do I go for Princess Live? Out of the theaters, deck 5, down I go. You know where to go, right? It's very familiar. It's like you're at home. So, but very similar cruise lines.
I think because I'm so bad at directions and stuff, I really like that familiar. I like to feel it's more a home. I always say on a Princess cruise, I feel very at home there. I'm desperate to try Edge or Apex, or I know JJ Cruise.
And Beyond coming in April.
Absolutely. I've cruised on Silhouette. I've been on Eclipse, but only kind of those celebrity ships. And it looks like a whole new step up. I know each cruise line wants to go up and up, but it really does look like it. So fingers crossed someday.
I would have loved to have been on the inaugural sailing of the Beyond, but I had my first group cruise hopefully is sailing on the exact same date,
Oh,
April
okay.
27th. And then after I get off that ship, I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks, and I have my second group in Alaska. But
Yeah.
then I'm thinking on flying down to the Beyond if they're still around.
Yes, that'd be very cool. I'm definitely
like
hoping
July
to
or
check
something.
out
Yeah.
Beyond. I think I will. I think it's just before we do our 90s themed cruise that we're doing next year in Spain, which should be absolutely amazing. I think it's pretty much sold out if anyone is watching and wants to come and hasn't booked it yet. I don't know what is happening with kind of reduced capacity at the minute because it's next May. They may be just selling, 60% capacity and then they'll be able to sell more later. But because it's a British cruise line, it's mostly packages from the UK. Flights have sold out from London. Balconies have sold out. I told everyone that it would sell out really fast.
Well, you should join the Love Boat cruise next February with the cast of Love Boat.
But I never have watched the Love Boat.
Oh, yeah, but I'm so looking at that because I grew up with that, right? Captain Steubing and Gopher and everybody. That's my generation.
Yeah, I just.
Thanks for telling me, everybody, how old I am, and
you brought it up. This wasn't me. I didn't bring up the Love Boat.
No, but we lost Gavin MacLeod this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Captain Steubing, but the others are still there, and they're all going to be on the ship. So I'm looking at that cruise, wanting to book it. I've been booking a few people call me about it when they mention it.
Yeah,
but I have other things kind of around that, but I want to go on that so bad. And it's the Majestic. I was just on the Majestic.
Yeah.
And the cruise director on there is Kevin, and he's an Ottawa boy from my city. So we got along really good.
Yeah.
He's the one who made me get out of the Yes No Game show in like 13 seconds or something like that. Yeah, I lasted real long time. Yeah, no, 11 seconds. I think it was 11 seconds that I lost in that. So.
Oh, you should do it. I mean, it's not a thing that happens all the time, is it? So.
No. Kind of I thought I was going to do good until everybody in the audience started to recognize who I was, and then I got nervous.
Oh yeah, no, that's a whole new level of. I hadn't even considered anything like that. Yeah. Gosh. Oh. Oof. Well. Thank you, Jim, for my super chat. He says, "Consider this a donation to get you to Antarctica." Thank you very much.
I want to go too. Yes, that's my bucket list. Absolutely.
Is Gary there right now? Because I keep seeing pictures of him with penguins, so I think Gary might be in Antarctica at the minute. Very, very.
Yes, I want to go next year. I don't know if I can get there next year, but 2023, I am definitely going one way or another.
Yeah. What cruise line would you do to go to Antarctica?
I'd like to do an expedition on Celebrity.
Yeah.
One of the expedition ships. Yeah. That would be really good.
Yeah, I'd love to. I have to admit, there's so many things that I want to do before going to Antarctica. I've got so many places I really want to get back just to Alaska, or I haven't been to the Caribbean for years and years and years. And I feel like
that's Islands.
Yeah, well, I want to go somewhere warm for a start. Being in the UK for the last couple of years, it's been good. But I mean, I went to Spain a couple of weeks ago, and to feel that proper sunshine that I haven't felt for it, I hadn't realized how much I'd missed it. But I think I'm like powered by like a little lizard who needs to soak up the sun, and that's how it powers me. It's dark here at 4. It's just I'd like to go somewhere warm, please. But thank you. I will put the $10 in my Antarctica fund, and when I get there,
and move it over to the warmer climate cruise later on.
I'll be like, Jim did this back in 2021. I have a question from John. Hello, John. I haven't read this, and I'm going to put it on the screen, so I'm trusting you, John. It's always risky to do that, but John, I know, I trust John. You mentioned helping a cruiser with their bill and that you can see your bill in your suite. Could one consult with someone from a ship in your room? Privacy. I mean, you can only see your own bills when you're either on your cabin TV or on your phone. There's no way anyone else could see what's on your bill at all. So no, the only way I think this is talking about, I had a message from someone who sent me a screenshot and said, I've got this charge. I don't know what it's for. That's just because they've chosen to send me a picture of it. There's no way that anyone else can see what anyone else is spending on a cruise. Do not worry about that.
No, they're not supposed to anyway, for sure.
Yeah, no, that would be, you'd be in trouble, I think, if that happened. But I had a friend who was on an MSC cruise, and he had a $100, I think, charge for entertainment. It wasn't the casino. He thought that he'd been charged to see the main theater shows, and I was like, no, you definitely should not pay to see the main theater shows, especially the MSC ones. You've been had if you've done that. And he went, and it wasn't just him. It was, they'd done like a mistake on loads of things, but that's why it's worth checking. If he just ignored it, they would have taken that money, I'm pretty sure. So definitely.
Well, also on your cruise bill, sometimes it'll say something like a department, but it's for something else.
Yeah.
And you look at it and say, I didn't book that, I didn't buy that, and it's for the shop downstairs. Yet it's going on the dining thing because it's part of it as food. I'm going. So people are often going down saying, I didn't pay for this, and then they explain it to them. Yeah, you did.
I have done that before and said, what is this £20? And it turns out to be, it said bar or something, and it was gift shop. It doesn't always, don't always trust what it says on there.
No.
But the more you check it, the more you will recognize, what did I spend today? Oh, yeah, I've been to the gift shop today. Yeah. But I have been there, and they explain it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was me. Sorry. Thank you, Scotty, for my super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate all of your comments, of course. I'm trying to see as many questions as I can, but it goes so fast because Don is so popular. So thank you, Don, for bringing your lovely audience. We have a question from Lorraine, a fellow Canadian. Where to buy travel insurance and out-of-country medical insurance? Are there policies that cover both? I'll let you take that, Don.
There are... oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Manulife insurance right now in Canada is now back to including cruise coverage that includes COVID as well. But also look at the cruise line you're booking with, because the majority of them are covering anything to do with COVID. So as long as you have basic medical coverage for your trip with evacuation, always have evacuation insurance. You're covered because, for instance, Royal Caribbean, I was just on their meeting and they said, well, how many people have you put up in hotels and everything like that? He says, well, really, we don't do that. What we like to do is if they're asymptomatic or showing no signs, what we do is we give them back their money and then we fly them home on a private jet. That way people aren't very upset about getting COVID on their cruise ship. So there's very little hotel bills unless somebody's actually going to a hotel, like a hospital kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's more advantageous for them because now that person will say, I don't mind traveling. If this happens, I'll go back, right? So it's worth the investment.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I know someone who his daughter had COVID on a cruise and they were quarantined in Spain, I think, in a hotel by Royal Caribbean. And they said Royal Caribbean were absolutely fantastic. The hotel was not great, but she had symptoms and she was a child, so it's probably quite different. But she said, they did a great thing. As far as they could. It's not an ideal situation. No one wants it to happen. But
it wouldn't be ideal if you were visiting a relative in another city, right?
Never ideal, but yeah. If anyone's watching from the UK or the US, I'm sure they are, and you're interested in travel insurance, I have a big travel insurance button on my website. I wrote, I think, 6,000 words about it on my website, but I know nothing about the Canada part. So thank you, Don.
Well, see, one of the problems being a travel agent is I'm not allowed to mention insurance.
Are you not?
Because I can get in trouble. I can never quote. I can never tell what policies are. I can never say that because if I'm ever misquoted or ever said anything wrong, I can be held liable. So that's why when people ask me, which insurance should I get and all this, all I can say is make sure you have evacuation insurance for airlift, and then, look at the websites because literally a travel agent can be sued, especially someone like in the public.
Yeah.
Like I put myself out sometimes. So.
Well, I can say whatever I like. I'm not a travel agent technically.
Yeah.
And the company I work with Emma Travel Counselors, you can buy their insurance. So that's normally the easiest thing to do. Thank you, Marcus, for my super chat. He says, we could break a record of likes during the live. Let's do it. Yes. YouTube has removed its dislike button. So if you were going to dislike, can you
although it still shows in the percentage, right?
Oh, does it? Yeah. I don't really look at that too much anyway, but if you could like it, that would be good. It just helps YouTube to know that it's good. We have one from John. He says, I don't know what this is really. I'm sure you can tell Emma who he is. I'll let you read that one and you can tell me who that is.
Ooh, yes, hangover before they wake up on a cruise ship. Yep, I do know that. Sister acting a play with Bernie Copel.
Oh.
In a play.
Oh. I don't know that one.
I don't know that neither.
Oh, I haven't seen that hangover one.
But I'm also horrible with names, so
yeah. Well, thank you, John. Anyway, we appreciate that one. And thank you, Claire, who says been booking out Norway back to back for next September. Don's back to backs have inspired me. I've never done a back to back cruise like that, Don.
Oh, it's great.
I'd love to.
It's great. Everyone's getting off and they're all upset. I gotta get off the ship, and you're here. See you later, everybody.
Yeah, I was here, when I'm getting off. We got off of the Morella cruise I took in Spain, and there were I don't know how many people who were staying on and doing a different itinerary, but it got to the point where on the last day of the cruise, I would see leaflets for the excursions for the next cruise because everything was just people were staying on. It was heartbreaking, but yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to.
It's fun. Well, look at my next cruises. I'm going. Well, I have 1 day in a hotel in between 3 cruises.
Yeah.
So it's basically back to back to back on 3 different ships.
He's so good. So envious. Thank God for my super sticker. And I have a question from Kelly that says, "Hi, Emma, a new subscriber. Thank you very much. I have just hit 90,000 subscribers. And I'm hopefully going to get to 100,000 soon, which will be amazing."
You'll do it.
What size puzzle do you have behind you? This is the smallest size puzzle, which is medium. So yes, the link is in the description to these maps. I went for the not super detailed one, but not plain one, the middle option on this. So this is wood. I know it looks like it's little pieces of wood, like a puzzle. So you have to put it all together. Hopefully I put everything in the right place. I tried my best, but yes. A question says, "Do you only answer super chats?" I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can, but if I went down in chronological order, we would still. I would not be able to.
I have somebody standing beside me picking out questions for me when I'm doing my live stream, and it's hard. It's crazy
because the super chats like this one. Thank you, John. They go off my screen, and I can't not thank someone for a super chat. So I kind of, I
use StreamYard as well. I know the system very well.
So the more someone donates as a super chat, the longer it stays on my screen. And sometimes I have missed a few because I'm just answering other questions, and I feel so bad. So I try and do, as many as I can. But in an hour, it's nearly been an hour, Don. It's just,
I know.
Yeah,
it goes quick, doesn't it?
Why aren't we over 1,000 likes yet? 1,000? I don't know. Thank you, Brenna, for the super sticker. Don, do you have anything you would like to say as we are nearly at an hour and I feel like we could chat for...
I did just put out a video for people in the United States, and I mentioned it to you earlier. I think it's called www.royalfreeshipping.com.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And Royal Caribbean is giving away for Black Friday 1,400 cruises. Anything from a 2-day to a 7-day cruise for absolutely free. You just have to register, and they're doing one a minute every 60 seconds.
Wow.
So unfortunately, it's not for UK, it's not for Canada. But if you're in the United States, you can go ahead and do it. I have a VPN, so I was thinking on trying to switch my VPN to the United States, but I'd still have to show my ID. So I probably still wouldn't win. So
I'm sure
that's a pretty good deal.
I don't know. It depends. If you just have to have a US address or something, I can move in with JJ Cruise briefly.
It would have to be on your actual ID, though. Yeah. There are conditions.
Yes.
There's JJ signed up. There you go.
Yes. Good.
JJ Cruises.
Oh, I'm so envious. We don't get anything like that. I think the UK and Canada.
As I always say, Canadians are always left out in the cold, right? So
I would agree. Sean has put the link here to Don's YouTube channel. I'm sure that you guys, if you're watching this, you would subscribe to Don. But if you are not, you absolutely need to. I don't know where you've been if you haven't done that. But thank you so much, Don, for coming on this chat. I'm just amazed that we managed to find you with some free time. You're very, very busy.
Quick. Maybe we can do like a Christmas special and get you and I and Tony. We'll do the 3 of us.
That would be really good.
But you're sailing at Christmas.
I am sailing
when are you
Christmas.
back?
I'm back on the 30th, I think. So maybe a New Year's.
A new year.
Yeah,
Bringing
New
in the
Year's
new
special.
year. There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean, I'll be seeing the new year in at different time to you. I'm in a different time zone.
I know right now I am not sailing in January.
Okay, no.
I'm planning on organizing all my groups for the year and booking my groups for 2023. So I haven't even decided what ships I'm going to go on, because Princess has a brand new ship coming out in 2023, a new class that we don't even know about yet. The Icon class is coming out with Royal Caribbean in 2023. So I can't even book them, but I want to do groups. How do you do it?
You know you want to. That sounds amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much to everybody who's in the chat. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your comments. Thank you for being here. I will be back same time next week. I'm sure you'll see me and Don all over the internet in the meantime. But thank you so much, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.